Hi guys, my name is Suchi Gupta. I'm a credit risk consultant, and today we've come up with a new video for quantitative finance module. In the previous video, we had spoken to you guys about the measures of central tendency. The measures of central tendency gives us the central point in the data, wherein basis of which two data sets can be compared with each other. In today's video, we will be talking about data distribution. So how are the various statistical techniques, statistical values that we have help us in studying the distribution of the data and making meaningful conclusions from it. In today's video, we will be covering about variance, standard deviation, covariance and correlation between the data points and the data that we have. Okay, let's start. So what is data distribution? Data distribution is the distribution of data over a range. Data distribution tells us that how well our data is spread, and whatever distribution we're talking about, we use various statistical methods to inference out the meaning of each and every statistical matrix that we will be covering in this video. Okay, so the first statistical measure that we use is variance. Variance tells us how well our data is actually spread. What did we study in the previous video? We studied mean, which tells us the average value of a data. That is that on an average a particular distribution, what is the middle, what is the average value of the particular distribution. However, variance tells us how far is the data distributed from the average. So if the variance of a particular data set is 0, which means that all the observations in that particular data set have the value that is equal to average. There is no difference between the average value and the other values present in the data distribution. However, when I say that the variance is 5, or I say variance is 10, which means that the distribution in the data is high and the points lie far away from the average. Now, if you look at the formula, it says summation of xi minus x bar whole square divided by n minus 1, where xi is the point in the data distribution minus the mean value, whole square, you summate it and you divide it by n minus 1, which is the number of observations minus 1. Now, this is the most simplest way to calculate variance, where you can gauge how is your data distributed. Now, how do we interpret this, or how do we analyze this? We analyze this as whenever someone says that the variance for a particular stock is say 2 as compared to a particular, or the variance in another stock is 10, which means that on an when we study these two stocks, the average fluctuation in the data where the variance is 2 is less as compared to the stock where the variance is 10. That means the fluctuation is much from the average value, average price of that stock. So taking stock B would be a riskier venture, why, as compared to taking stock A with variance 2, which has less fluctuations. The movement away from the mean is less, the data is less spread out as compared to stock B, where the data is more spread out and has more fluctuations or is further away from the mean. Moving ahead, we talk about standard deviation. Now, this is very it's the same concept that we covered in variance. So when you do under root of variance, you come up with standard deviation. It's a simple calculation. As you can see also on the screen, it's the same formula, just under root the variance and you get standard deviation. Now, what is standard deviation basically telling us? So standard deviation is again how well is my data spread away from the mean. So higher the standard deviation, as the word says, standard deviation. So deviation from the standard value, that is deviation from the mean. Now, there can be negative values as well as positive values as well. Therefore, you take the square of the deviation from the mean and calculate what is the overall spread of the data from the mean. Now, as you can see in the screen, the charts show that when you have a higher standard deviation, which means that the data is, as I said earlier, farther away from the mean as compared to a lower standard deviation value. Okay, moving ahead, coming to the next topic, that is covariance. Now covariance is a very it's a very simple concept to understand, but has its implications on various statistical front, and is very readily used in the industry to study the data, and also its impact that it has on other things. Now what is covariance? Covariance means that it tells the relation, it basically speaks of the relationship of between the two variables that move together. So a positive covariance would mean that that two variables have a positive relationship, that is a direct relationship. If A is increasing, then B is increasing. A negative covariance tells you they have an inverse relationship, that is if A is increasing, my B is decreasing. Now let's understand this in terms of say stock market. So I say that the price of my infrastructure stocks tend to increase when my GDP increases. When the gross domestic product of the country increases, my stock prices of infrastructural stocks also seem to increase. So there seems to be a positive relationship between the two. So the covariance is positive. Now when I say that when my inflation is increasing, the stock price of the same infrastructural stocks tends to decrease. So higher the inflation, the stock price of these stock price of the infrastructure companies seem to decrease. So here what I'm talking about, I'm talking about an inverse relationship. With the increase in my inflation, the stock price for infrastructural companies is decreasing. That can happen due to various reasons. That given the product is becoming expensive, the cost of building a particular infrastructural project is becoming high. That is why the stock price is decreasing, because your profit margins are decreasing. As compared to the second part, when my GDP is increasing, the overall income of people is increasing, there is more trade in the economy, new products are being built, therefore raw material or other sources are easily available. They can easily be used at a cheaper cost, not very cheaper cost, a cheaper cost. Therefore the infrastructural companies are able to build good infrastructure in the economy, and the prices is increasing, profit is increasing. So that is how you can interpret various things just on the basis of the covariance value. Now coming to the last concept, that is correlation. Correlation speaks about how strong or weak is the relationship between two variables. The value of a correlation stands between -1 to 1. -1 means strong negative relationship. That is, as we studied earlier, a high rise in inflation would lead to a very strong dip in the prices of the infrastructural companies' shares. So it's a strong negative relationship, right? A +1 would mean a strong positive relationship, direct relationship. Increase in stock A leads to an increase in stock in price B. For example, increase in the consumption of tea can be said that would lead to an increase in the consumption of sugar, direct relationship. While these are complementary goods. Now when we talk about tea and coffee, an increase in the rise of consumption of coffee would lead to a decrease in the consumption of tea, because there is a negative relationship, and these are competitor goods. They are used in place of each other. That is what is can be interpreted from the correlation value. Now a correlation value of 0 would mean that there is no relationship between the two variables. For example, I can say the prices of tires and the price of tea. There is no relationship between tire and tea, so a correlation could be 0. The studying correlation, covariance tells us how two variables are interconnected. It tells you, covariance tells you whether there is a movement in the prices of in basically movement in the data of the two variables, is it together or not. And correlation speaks of the relationship that they have, either it's positive, negative, no relationship, or a zero relationship. That is, there is no trend in the data, and there is no trend in between the two data distribution or two variable distributions. Okay. Now, with these concepts, I think you will be able to better interpret the data. If you want us to make a specific video on these or especially on these topics that we've covered, we will be happy to do so. Also, no, this is just an introductory video for covariance and correlation. These topics are such big in themselves that this might not be an appropriate explanation. We will be covering these two topics especially in our videos that are further to come in the quantitative finance module. Till then, stay tuned to this channel. We also wanted to highlight that we have an Instagram account. We also have a LinkedIn page, Facebook page. So kindly like, comment, subscribe these channels. There are various sources via which we want to connect to you. There is actually free flow of knowledge, and we can discuss these topics. We plan on making more such videos and having more interactive content. So that you can like increase your everyday learning and help that can also help you in good career moves and making good financial decisions. Thank you.